The waitress at her son's grave. The November rain turned the cemetery melancholy when Victoria Blackwood saw the scene that would change her life. At her son Adrian's marble tomb, a young black woman in a waitress uniform held a small child, both crying. Victoria stopped, clutching white lilies. At 55, the Blackwood Industries heiress had never seen these two people. But something about the child's features made her heart race. "Excuse me, this is a private moment. You're in the wrong place." The young woman lifted her face, eyes red from crying. "I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone was coming. Who are you, and why are you crying at my son's grave?" The child, about 4, looked up with bright green eyes, eyes identical to Adrian's. "My name is Jasmine Washington. I work at Bell's Diner. I come here every month because Adrian was important to us." Victoria felt the world spin. Adrian had died 3 years ago in a car accident at 28. She'd investigated his life, never finding evidence of relationships, let alone a child. Important how? The rain fell harder. Jasmine looked into Victoria's eyes with courage. "Because Tyler is his son, and because I promised I would always take care of him no matter what." The bouquet slipped from Victoria's hands, flowers scattering across cold stone. 3 years she'd mourned, believing her bloodline had died with Adrian. Now she had a grandson, a black grandson, raised by a waitress. But something in Jasmine's eyes didn't fit, a caution, a hidden fear, as if she were keeping secrets much bigger than Tyler's existence. 2 weeks later, Victoria had turned her library into a command center. Private investigator reports covered the mahogany table. Single, no known family. Works 60 hours a week at 2 jobs. Lives in a 1-bedroom apartment, Victoria muttered. No formal education beyond high school. "What about the child's mother?" Victoria asked. "We couldn't find a birth certificate, hospital records, or any official documentation. It's as if his biological mother never existed." "Schedule a meeting with this Jasmine. In my office tomorrow at 2. The next day, Jasmine arrived at Blackwood Industries headquarters wearing her only suit. Victoria welcomed her into her top-floor office with panoramic city views, a calculated display of power. "Sit down. We need to talk about Tyler." Jasmine remained standing. "I'd rather stand." Victoria opened a folder. "I've looked into you. 2 jobs, no savings, unsuitable conditions for a child. Tyler is well cared for and loved. A Blackwood child deserves more than your best." Victoria slid a check across the table. $200,000 to start. "Tyler comes to live with me. You can visit on weekends." "Are you trying to buy my son?" "He's my grandson. Blood of my blood. A waitress can't offer him what we can. Tyler has called me mom for 3 years. I wake up with him during nightmares. I teach him math. That's family. Noble sentiments, but Tyler deserves private schools, trips around the world, opportunities you can never give. And he deserves unconditional love. Something you clearly didn't give your own son." Silence. "How dare you? Adrian told me about the missed meetings, the games you never attended, the birthdays where you sent gifts through assistants. You want Tyler to clear your conscience, not because you care about him." Jasmine took the check and tore it in half. "Tyler isn't for sale. Then we'll do this the hard way. I have resources you can't imagine. Lawyers, investigators, connections at every level." Jasmine smiled. "Victoria, you're assuming I'm just a poor waitress you can intimidate. But there are things about me, about Tyler, about Adrian that you haven't discovered yet. Your investigators aren't as good as you think." She headed for the door. "Next time you want to talk about Tyler, it will be on my terms, not yours." After Jasmine left, Victoria stood alone, the floor littered with torn check pieces. For the first time in decades, someone had walked away from a negotiation holding all the cards. 3 days later, her attorney called, nervous. Miss Washington hired Morrison, Caldwell, and Pierce. They're representing her pro bono. Victoria nearly spilled her coffee. Morrison, Caldwell, and Pierce was one of the largest firms in the country, known for never losing. That's impossible. Why would they be interested in some waitress? They've already filed a petition claiming any attempt to remove the child would constitute legal kidnapping based on socioeconomic discrimination. Meanwhile, in Jasmine's apartment, a very different meeting was taking place. Dr. Michael Chen, a Columbia Law professor, investigative journalist Amanda Torres, and an elegant woman in her 50s. "Aunt Helen, thank you for coming," Jasmine said, hugging the woman. "When you said the time had finally come, I cancelled everything. We've been waiting 3 years." Dr. Chen opened a thick folder. "Jasmine, are you sure? Victoria Blackwood has immense resources. I've been preparing 3 years. Every night class, every law book, every contact. It's all been to protect Tyler and honor Adrian's memory." Amanda looked up from her laptop. "The evidence you've gathered is impressive. 3 years of documentation of Blackwood Industries' questionable practices." Helen smiled. "Victoria thinks wealth makes her untouchable. She has no idea my niece has spent 3 years studying her every move, every dirty deal. Aunt Helen taught business law at the University of Chicago for 30 years. She taught me that knowledge is the only weapon they can't buy or steal." Jasmine's phone rang. "Victoria, furious. What game are you playing? Morrison, Caldwell and Pierce. How does a waitress get lawyers of that caliber?" Jasmine put the phone on speaker. "I warned you there were things you hadn't discovered. I don't care what tricks you're using. Tyler is my grandson, and I have unlimited resources." "Unlimited resources?" Jasmine smiled. "You're assuming money is the only kind of power. But what if I told you there's something much more powerful? And what would that be?" "The truth. The truth about your illegal business dealings, about how you built your empire through fraudulent contracts and bribery. That truth is worth much more than money to certain people." "Silence. You're bluffing. Amanda Torres from the Metropolitan newspaper would like to speak with you." Victoria hung up immediately. Dr. Chen closed his briefcase. "The legal strategy is solid. Precedents where attempts to remove children based on socioeconomic status have been deemed discriminatory. And I have 3 years of research on every dirty deal Victoria has made," Amanda added. Jasmine picked up Tyler. "What Victoria doesn't understand is that I'm not just fighting for Tyler. I'm fighting against a system that believes money buys everything." The phone rang. Victoria's lawyer offering $500,000 and supervised visits. "Tell your client Tyler is not for sale at any price. And she has 48 hours to withdraw legal threats, or the Metropolitan Journal will publish a full series on Blackwood Industries practices. And I'm sure the IRS will be interested in the documents we've obtained." That night, Jasmine opened a trunk. Inside were diplomas from Night Law School, certificates, letters of recommendation, and at the bottom, a photograph of her with Adrian and a young fair-skinned woman. The photograph Victoria had never seen. The photograph that explained who Tyler's mother was and why Jasmine had prepared so meticulously. On Monday morning, Victoria woke to 37 missed calls. Her assistant held a tablet with genuine fear. "Victoria, you need to see this." The headline: "Empire built on corruption. Leaked documents reveal decades of crimes at Blackwood Industries." Below were fraudulent contracts, illegal payments to politicians, money laundering schemes. How did they get this? Her phone rang. Her lawyer: "Victoria, it's a complete disaster. The IRS has issued search warrants. The FBI is on its way. The SEC has suspended all trading of Blackwood Industries stock." Victoria called Jasmine, hands shaking. "You did this. Good morning, Victoria. I imagine you've read the news. I'll destroy you. What resources? Your bank accounts were frozen 15 minutes ago." Victoria frantically typed passwords. "Access denied. Access denied." "Why?" Victoria asked, her voice breaking. "Because you never asked about Tyler's mother. If you had, you would have found out her name was Jessica Blackwood." Victoria's blood ran cold. "Jessica was the daughter of Robert Blackwood, your cousin. The same cousin you betrayed in 1995 to steal his share of the business." The memories flooded back. Robert, signing documents Victoria had altered. The family feud she'd won through lies. Jessica grew up poor because of your betrayal. She met Adrian in college. They fell in love, but she was afraid to tell him who she was, knowing you would kick her out of his life. When Jessica died in childbirth, Adrian came to me. I was his best friend. But Adrian also discovered the truth about what you did to Jessica's family. He spent the last months of his life investigating you, gathering evidence. When he died in that accident, he left everything to me: documents, recordings, proof. He asked me to wait for the right moment. Victoria saw FBI vans pulling up. The accident. It wasn't an accident. Adrian uncovered a money laundering scheme involving dangerous people. People you hired. They killed your own son, Victoria. The revelation hit like a shot. She had killed her own son through her greed. Tyler is the last legitimate Blackwood. Jessica was the legal heir to a fortune you stole. And now, with your accounts frozen and company confiscated, Tyler finally got what was always his. FBI, you planned this for 3 years. Adrian taught me that patience is the key to revenge. Every document I collected, every course I took, all for this moment. The door burst open. Victoria Blackwood, you're under arrest. As handcuffs clicked, Victoria heard Jasmine. Tyler will grow up knowing the truth. Justice, even when slow, always comes. 2 years later, Millbrook Women's Prison was very different from the penthouse Victoria had commanded. In Orange, she worked in laundry for $2.50 an hour. Blackwood, you have a visitor. Instead of her lawyer, she found Jasmine elegantly dressed in a navy suit. I've come with news. Tyler has been accepted at Phillips Academy, where Adrian attended. Full scholarship. Why tell me this? Because you're his grandmother and because Tyler asked if bad people can become good. I told him it depended on whether they truly wanted to change. Jasmine showed photographs of Tyler smiling in his uniform. He's learning violin like his father. How can you afford this? The fortune you stole from Jessica's family was returned by the courts. Tyler is now heir to the entire legitimate Blackwood estate. Ironic, isn't it? And you, I got the chance to give Tyler what you never gave Adrian. A family that puts love above money. Is he happy? He's loved, Jasmine replied. And that's all that ever mattered. Meanwhile, Tyler ran through the garden of his new Connecticut home. Jasmine watched from the porch, her framed MBA degree behind her. Mom, can I play violin for you? Tyler shouted. Of course, my love, Jasmine replied, thinking of how proud Adrian would be. Victoria had tried to buy a grandson but discovered that family cannot be bought. She lost everything because she confused power with value, money with dignity. Jasmine's real victory wasn't destroying Victoria, it was building a future where Tyler would never repeat previous generations' mistakes, where a child would grow up knowing that identity is not defined by skin color or bank account, but by strength of character. Jasmine proved that persistence and intelligence always win over arrogance and prejudice. True family is built with love, not money.